Alrighty guys, so we're back at it with the tier list. Of course, our last update today was from when we were ending off the year, where I wanted to class every character. Now this is the PvE, we'll also do the PvP. Of course, we've got two new characters being Yami and Luck. Of course, with them coming into the game itself being at the beginning of 2024, I mean, they're not bad characters. Of course, it clearly does look like that if they were released beforehand, things would have been much better with these characters, with obviously the meta and etc. But they're still decent at the very least. They're not bad at all. So kind of want to get on with some tier list action, get their places in and where I deem them fit. Now this is the PvE. After we're done with PvE, we'll go over to PvP, of course, and put them in there. Now, of course, from when I've done my videos, I have been using these guys. Put them in a much better position with gear sets, damage wise and whatnot, and I'm impressed. You know, Yami I've been having more fun with, purely because when it comes to, so as we're talking about PvE, obviously for PvP I've got my meta team. I'm not running these guys on PvP, right? Luck I did give a few more tries, and he's not bad, but we'll get to him when it comes to PvP. So of course, when it comes to the PvE side of things, we'll start it off with Yami, and he is just a bundle of fun, I'm gonna be honest. With that first Greymore, where of course as he uses the first skill he does more extra damage, well, you know, getting that piled up really does take into effect of the amount of damage this man can dish out. But more importantly, you know, the barrier prey from his LR+2, as well as what is it, the barrier that he can get on his ultimate. His kit is pretty nice. As an attacker that can get quickness, drop a lot of damage, be able to stun if the enemy has bleed. I don't know, overall for a PvE green attacker, it kind of suits him. He's not a bad character. I'm having too much fun with him. I will say, without the Greymore, I don't think he would be as good, because it really is this first skill that is kind of, as I've mentioned on the showcase video, to me that's the big seller. That is the big seller for me when it comes to this Yami. So he is a bit of a package deal, and so taking all of that into consideration, I would kind of class him pretty high. Okay, hold on a minute. I kind of want to see, because how many stacks do I have right now? We've got 3, so let's get one more in us. Boom, 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 boom. So yeah, just a casual 250k. So for that, I would actually deem, okay, so if we look at where all the other green attackers are, so we've got Raya, Langris is there, we've got Fana, who is pretty much the top dog. Then we got Lich. I want to put Yami just because of how great of an attacker he is and how quickness he is, and of course the barrier play. I would actually class him as an S rank unit within the PvE side of things as a green attacker. I don't want to class him above Raya because Raya's ultimate is practically a nuke because he gets the extra damage, so he can basically drop like a melee. So I will actually keep Raya up top just because of, actually yeah, we'll do this, because I will put Yami above Langris 100%. Now when it comes to Luck, I'm gonna be honest, when it comes to PvE, I really have not had many situations where I'm just like, yep, I'm gonna need him. If anything, I'd probably bring Charlotte if I really need that counter attack, but of course Charlotte is providing that little bit more as her role is support. Obviously with Luck himself, he is that offensive character, so I mean, that counter attack, in my opinion, is just a bit of a bonus. Actually, one thing which I want to quickly check is, I just want to double check what is my ongoing rate for this little mother trucker. Okay, so I've got an 85% chance to get 30% all attack increase onto Luck. I think that's how it is, right? Oh no, sorry, if counter attack, I forgot the counter attack. So if counter attack is present, then I get an 85% chance to get a 30% all attack increase. Yeah, and of course if I cap it at, it will be 100%, and then it will be a 40%, so 100% chance to get a all attack, a 40% increase if counter attack is present. So that's how pretty much the Greymore is working. So obviously having this is going to be helping me out a lot in the damage department. Now when it comes to PvE content, specifically in boss fights, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really need to use Luck, nor have I had the kind of thought of like, Luck would be good in that case. In modes like these, I will say, yeah, Luck is pretty picture perfect, you know. I mean, it's that PvP vibe, should I say, of course. So in this scenario, it kind of does indicate to where Luck is most best at. But for PvE, specifically boss, like this type of PvE content, in my opinion, is pretty solid, right? this to me is pretty solid on you know, utilizing luck. Whereas in a boss fight, I've put him through multiple boss fights. There are certain boss fights that he can kind of work pretty nicely, but when it comes to, I guess, the big boss fights, if you want to call it that, yeah, not too much success. I think that's kind of like the best way to put it. Not too much success. So I think with all of that, taking everything else into consideration, I don't think he's bad. Like, I do believe Luck is still going to be a pretty usable character for PvE, depending on the scenario and the situation. So doing the ult right there, 19k. I will say the damage over time Electric is actually pretty nice to have. So that's pretty effective, I'll give him that. But anyway, coming back to the tier list itself. So with that, I do believe a suitable A rank would be best for him. If anything, I might actually put Charlotte up in S, actually. Yeah, there we go. For PvE side of things, I think that's kind of where my stance is right now when it comes to Luck himself and where I feel like he deems. So actually, to be fair, I feel like, yeah, I feel like mid A. I think that's kind of where he best fits. So yeah, I think that is where I'm going to leave it when it comes to the PvE side of things. I'm happy leaving Yami up top in S, and then I think with Luck himself, I think mid A. I don't want to shoot him down below, saying that he's in the lower tier of A, purely because of the damage build up that he can actually apply through the counter attack. So I think mid A is pretty suitable for my boy Luck himself. Alright, now when it comes to PvP, just quickly had to rearrange everything to where I last left it for PvP. Made a few changes, but it's A-okay. So as an green attacker, I think I would actually put Yami high A. Yeah, I think I'll put him high A. By the way, the reason why Raya and Lich are there is because I always like to put them together. So outside of PvE, with PvP, their combination attack is still pretty good. Like, it still does pack a punch, I will admit. That's why I got them there. But Yami with that first skill, with the speed and with the barrier play, that falls in line with where the current meta is right now. So high damage, sets his own barrier up through his passive and his ultimate. You've got the Charlotte play to buff him up that little bit more, to give him that more protection, and his damage output is pretty disgusting. So there's a lot going on for the Yami himself now. So I'll put him A. Although he is somewhat of an easy target, you know, that way you can obviously dispel barrier, and Asta is basically nuking him. But no, this Yami isn't too bad. I think A is more suitable. I think high A is suitable to put him in a PvP perspective. And then Luck. Here's the thing. I do like Luck. I do. Dispel barrier, that is nice. The counter attack, that's a bit of a bonus. The DOT that I can apply, that is top notch, because it has saved me multiple times. Leading in that with the Greymore to get the damage boost alongside with the ultimate itself does pack an absolute punch going against red typing. Not just red typing, but blue typing too, since those are the two most consistent typing that are being used now. Once in a blue moon, people will run their green typing. Mainly Charlotte is going to be consistently used, which is fine. But the dispelling of the barrier really makes Luck just that, like, a nice character to have. Alright, so just quickly went on and played a few PvP games, and I'm not gonna lie, the dispelling of the barrier wants me to put him to low S. That first skill really does help out, just kind of neutralizing an enemy that is hiding behind barrier. It kind of opens them up. He's basically the character that can just open up an enemy to get an absolute beating, right? So I think for that I want to put him low S, but I will admit a part of me does want to keep him in high A. But just for the sake of the barrier removal and the DOT he can apply, the counter attack is also a little bit beneficial, but then of course on the first skill he does get that speed increase. His damage output is pretty nice, by the way. I've actually given him some decent gear now, so like, obviously when it comes to the Noels, he is absolutely decimating them. I mean, there are a few people still running Noel, hiding behind their 200k barrier, in comes Luck, and just completely stomped her out of the water. So in that scenario, including like Charlotte providing barriers, as well as Radis coming along providing barriers, in those type of scenarios, but like the first skill of Luck, if he's got a high amount of damage going on, it's actually picture perfect. Especially if you do have Charlotte, then he gets the benefit of the 30% all attack, of course, which is pretty nice. So I think I'll leave him in low S, but I am Okay, low S to high A is where I would put this luck, but I'll leave him in low S because of him removing barrier is pretty nice. So, and it just makes life a whole lot easier, I will admit. And this is me without running the Charlotte, by the way. This is just him on his own providing the counter attack play. So there's that. Alrighty, you guys. Well, I think I'll leave it there. I think that's kind of where I'm at with the tier list side of things with these characters and where I want to class them on PvE as well as PvP. But yeah, I think the only thing I'm kind of 50-50 on is luck being low S to high A. I think that's kind of where I would class him as. So he's kind of like right on that line between A going into S. So there's that. Anyway, I'll leave it there, boys. You know what? I might just leave him in high A. Yeah. Anyway, I'll end it there. I'm so undecided. Obviously, when I do come back with an updated tier list, I probably will figure out where I want to put luck. But yeah, I just need to try him out a little bit more, try him out and go against like some of the meta teams, and then just kind of see how he fares. So far, he's not doing too bad. When I need the barrier gone, he's there, and that's kind of like the key thing that I'm using for. And the damage is that he's getting off is pretty nice too, right? Yeah, I need to keep using him. I still need to feel him out, but I think in between A and S is kind of where we're kind of looking at for this man. So yeah.